welcome to Gusto Reactions once again. Thank you so much for always liking. Thank you so much for staying put all the time, for liking, for subscribing, for telling your friends, for trying to support the brand. Thank you so much.
You know they try to change that.
No, I know they try to change that.
You change that.
Guys, you guys are the realest MVPs. I've got Lala in the building. Lala, you're welcome to the show today. And today it's Wande.
No try.
I did try now.
No, they try.
Yes. Is it true that nobody be like Wande?
Nobody be like Wande. Like nobody in terms of talent. I mean, he has insane talent, songwriting ability. Nobody be like Wande. I mean, there are some young cats.
So that word is profound. That statement is profound.
Yes, nobody be like Wande. People are comparing other young cats to Wande right now, but nah, it's gonna take more than what they do right now to be like Wande.
In terms of
songwriting, the voice, insane. I mean, he's a good singer. He's more than a good singer. Like, he's one of our best vocalists in Nigeria, for a fact. Yeah. Okay, so Wande, one of the, is a good singer, one of the best vocalists, and all of that. Now, looking back at Wande's career, we saw him dance in that video, Why Me? And you know, he was looking like you 3 years ago. Looking like Shady 4 years ago.
So yeah, Wande actually, eventually joined Mohit. Was his debut impressive for you?
Of course, debut till today remains one of the best debut albums ever.
That's Machine to Mohit, actually.
Machine to Mohit. It was hits back to back. I mean, there are several debut albums in Nigeria, in the history of Afrobeat in Nigeria, that have come out. Several. Machine Mohit ranks highly. I'm not saying it's the best, because that's arguable. There's a lot of them.
WIZKID Olamide
ranks highly in the list of best debut albums to ever come out of Nigeria.
So are we going to say Wande was actually ahead of his time?
I wouldn't say he was ahead of his time. What I would say is he was a product of his time, but perhaps he overused himself during that period.
Overused in what sense?
Overused himself because we know for a fact that he was not only a singer or a signed artist to Mohit at that time, he was a songwriter. Majority of the songs from that era, Wande was responsible. He was part. I mean, he was. If I had to put a percentage to it, I would say 60%. He was indeed the songwriter for majority of the hits. All those collaboration albums that we got from Mohit that time.
The CV album by Mohit,
Wande was brains. Even some of the band hits that you might want to think of, Wande is brains behind those.
I'm sure you love Wande's verse or performance on Booty Call.
That's one of the standouts. Apart from the band was the band.
Yes.
But Wande always came correct anytime there was something more
falsetto and everything. Nah.
That's why I said no one comes close to Wande in that regard. So
after Mohit actually got dissolved and everything, despite all the legacy that they had Wande with Pere, and he also did well, on Pere, and that Machine to Mohit album is still a classic till date. Now Wande joined Maven Records, and he released a couple of songs under Maven as well, and then the Wanted album as well, with Black Diamond. He left Maven and then from Black Diamond and released that album Wanted. Now, should Wande have left Maven Records?
Well, perhaps the terms were not right for him. I mean, while he was at Mohit at that time, perhaps the ginger for him to make music was in that kind of setting, in a sort of group setting that you had the band, Don Jazzy,
the Prince,
Dr. Sid, and K-Switch, and then there's one other person later who joined. What's his name? Dr. Sid. Okay, Dr. Sid. At that period, Ikechukwu at one point. So I think the ginger for him to make music, I mean, they probably stimulated him more to make music around that period. That's why we saw the best of Wande around that period. We saw the best of him on his album. We saw the best of him on the collaborative album they had, which is the Curriculum Vitae and the other songs that they had together. That was the best of Wande. Then when he left, I mean, more hits probably had the patchy period at one time. They wanted to sell the label, but eventually didn't. But then D'banj, after his Oliver Twist thing, exited
2012,
the label. Exited the label. So he had to now be down to Don Jazzy for him to build the label, which he did, change the name. Wande was there initially, but then he opted out as well. Perhaps the times were not right for him. And then since that period, we've seen a Wande that has not been stimulated enough to make music. He has not been active enough. At one point he was, when he had Baby Hello and these other songs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Excellency.
Excellency. He was around that period, perhaps he came back. I mean, Baby Hello was not produced by, was it Babyface or Don Jazzy at that period? Yeah. So he was he had this little sparks in some periods, like he's willing to make music. But majority of the time, it just looks like he's unwilling, he's not stimulated, he's not motivated to make music. And that's what makes him look like he's lazy when it comes to music. So
Wande as an artist is regarded as one of the best vocalists. You mentioned that earlier on. Is Wande I mean, this question is actually very, very personal to me. Now, Wande as an artist, can we say that he was the one who, was it a case of him helping Mohit then, or Mohit helping him?
I think it was a two-way street. It wasn't one way for him. Mohit provided him the environment,
the platform.
Yes, they provided him the ginger to make those songs, stimulated him in a way to always, I mean, write songs, feature on songs, even have an album of his own. Mohits were the ginger for him. He was a motion boy. I could see the title of motion to Mohit. Yeah. His first appearance on anything screen was on a D'banj record. And D'banj at that time had just moved back to Nigeria to pursue music fully in Nigeria. Yeah. And his song Why Me, which was the song of the time at that period, had Wande dancing. We didn't even know who Wande was at that period. Later, years later, when he started featuring on the curriculum vitae kind of song, we now know who this is Wande, and he came with motion to Mohit. So it was a two-way street. It wasn't like they used him and dumped him. He was mutually beneficial for both parties. And at the end, when they separated, there's still more hits in the form of Mavin. But Wande for me, is still struggling to reach the heights that he once reached with more hits, and he's still struggling to even surpass those heights, which we know he has the potential and ability to.
What's the Wande problem?
I think it's laziness. I don't think he's stimulated. I won't call him laziness. Okay, let's say lack of interest. It's the lack of interest in making music. That's what I term it as, because nothing can make you release an EP that, I mean, was it a 6-track EP?
7-track EP.
7-track EP, and we just have 3 new songs. We know Wande very talented. You probably have loads of songs in your computer, in your hard drive. We know for a fact. But Wande can do so much better, especially for the fact that he had last year, I mean maybe this year, he had come out to make it look like, I'm going to give this music thing a shot.
And then
released again, banger,
amazing song.
Till today, one of the best songs to come out this year.
Yes, definitely.
Released Naughty Girl, another banger good song. Perhaps the COVID affected how the reach of these songs, how they could have been bigger hits, because Naughty Girl is a club jam. Like she said, Naughty Girl. Songs even reminds me of the song he had with DJ Tunes.
Again is a jam,
and again, as slow as it is very, very sensible, very R&B. Like anybody can relate to. And imagine, look at the sort of video that's come up for it again. It says it's a story video, but then it's just unserious from him. He has lack of interest right now in making it. That's what it looks like. He's not taking the music as serious as he should be. And people like me who are fans of his music, who are crazy about what Wande can do, I'd be disappointed. I am disappointed, I have to say. I'm disappointed.
So Wande had a couple of years ago had that song Iskaba. Yeah. Iskaba is still a proper jam till now. I mean, a couple of years down the line, right from 2009 to 2005. 2015 actually, was not really, he released Wanted, a couple of hits from that, or good songs from that particular album. But after then, we saw a couple of, like, those years have been sprinkled with a couple of Wande.
There's always a sprinkle of,
yes,
but it's not consistent.
It's not been consistent. It's not been consistent. Now, Wande Cole, from the Mohit era to Maven to Black Diamond, can we say that Wande Cole is a legend?
I'm not even going to mince words. I don't think he's done enough to deserve the term being called a legend.
Even with the hits?
Even with the hits, because it takes consistency. It takes dominating at the highest level for years, which he hasn't done. I'm not going to say he's a veteran in the music scene. He's been at it for years. I think he's 35 now?
Yeah.
He's 35 now. And he still did not maximize the potential he had as an artist. Imagine him, I mean, perhaps the opportunity at the time after he left Maven was not there. If he had had an investor like a big label or like an international dude that believed in him, things could have taken a turn. But it's never too late. He's still 35. I mean, Tiwa Savage is 40. She got an international deal at 39.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not too late. But at the moment, he doesn't deserve the tag of being called legendary or being a legend. Would say he's a veteran at this point. But there's still time to change that. He has 5 good solid years before he's 40. See how it goes.
So with the talent and everything that Wande Cole has, with the song that he has, with what we know that Wande Cole can do. I mean, right here we mentioned nobody be like Wande Cole. A WIZKID would say, I beg, when it comes to Wande Cole, leave me out. I don't want wahala. Davido will say the same thing. I don't want wahala. Every artist in Nigeria will tell you, when it comes to Wande Cole, I beg, I don't want wahala. Now my oga be that. I mean, quite respected, and not because this is not hype.
Yeah, it's not hype.
It's there. The talent is there and everything. Can Wande Cole really come back to the top?
Of course. I wouldn't want to shut the door and say yes, he can't come back.
What does he need to do then?
What he needs to do, he needs to be consistent with his work. We don't need projects like Realms EP. We don't. If he's going to drop an album, let's know he's going to drop an album. If he's going to drop singles, if he wants to be a single, let's have a scheduled release of singles, consistent singles that we know that is deliberate. Like, I know that I take this music seriously. In 2021, I want to drop 4 songs and 2 videos. Let's have that sort of plan. I know that yes, for that 4 songs, we know that songs are going to push well. At least every quarter there's a song in the year that we know that is Wande Cole. We know that yes, he is consistent. I'm going to also say, okay, I'm going to feature in a lot of at least buzzing new guys, even the old guys. We don't see a lot of Wande Cole features. We saw him on Fireboy, which spell, people say it was underwhelming, but then it was still a nice track. But we need to see more of Wande Cole featuring. We need to see more of Wande Cole dropping singles, and not just things like Realms EP. Realms EP just looked unserious for me.
Man, a lot to say about Wande Cole actually. And before we go, does Wande Cole need a WIZKID or a Davido collaboration to get back to that height?
No, he doesn't, because every time he drops singles and we see the talents, we bust to the song. We know that he didn't need a WIZKID or a Davido for a game. He didn't need any of them for Baby Hello or for his
Naughty Girls.
He didn't need any of them for those. He's a talent on his own. He even has the potential to be as big as those people if he takes the music seriously. The guy has everything that a label would want. Like, can deliver you jams. Not like he's, I'm not dissing him, not like he's good looking like that, but whatever. But yes, he's maybe a bit older than these other guys, but then he has the talent.
So is he
can do bangers. It's not age might not be on the side, maybe if you're looking at that, but then as a guy 35.
There was something about people talking, like rumors of Wande Cole having some sort of depression issues, going into some sort of unscrupulous things, something so things we can't say on on TV and everything, like going into depression and having some sort of a lot of negative vibe around him for a long time. Now a lot of people also said that he needs to go and see a psychiatrist, he needs to go and see a counselor, he needs to go and see. People felt that it was more personal. He had a lot of things going wrong for him at that time. Now, hopefully, he has overcome those things. 2021 for Wande Cole. What do you expect?
I expect, like I said, I expect him to be serious with the music. But if indeed he's going through those sort of issues, he does need to see people to clear his head. We can see in his appearance that he looks a bit different. He looks a bit slimmer right now as compared to about 2015 when he was a bit chubby. So yes, perhaps music might even be the way out for him if he takes it seriously. or perhaps he doesn't even like the limelight. I don't know. But if he has those issues, he needs to see someone and get his.
See the band or Don Jazzy?
No. He was at the band's birthday party now. Right? Yeah. I don't think that's what he needs to see. He needs to see professionals that will sort him out. That's what he needs to see.
That birthday party when Wande came through with a game, man.
Crazy guy.
Hey, Jesus. Lala said it all. Wande, legendary or not, what does he need to do to come back to the top of his game? Does he need a WIZKID? Does he need a Davido? Does he need Don Jazzy? Does he need the band? What exactly does Wande need to do in 2021? Is he a legend or not, or just a veteran? Lala has answered all of these things, but of course we know that's just Lala's opinion. What do you guys think about the whole Wande debacle, the whole Wande fiasco? We know that nobody be like Wande, but what does Wande need to do for nobody to truly not be like him, in 2021? Of course, is he a legend or just, a veteran? Let us know right there. We'll write, and of course we will reply to every one of you. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you on the next reaction. Lala, thank you so much for coming. Peace, guys.